Hello and welcome to this week's edition of a Thinking Boy podcast. I'm your host, Cesar Perez, with
Adrian Perez,
my cousin from my dad's side of the family. How you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm doing very well, thank you. Yeah.
I'm so glad that you're on, bro. Because like I mentioned earlier, like I've always wanted to have you on. You're an interesting guy, bro. You know?
Thank you.
I consider you like an interesting person for sure. Definitely a unique person. I feel like that's why me and you kind of like gravitated to each other whenever I would like visit my dad, you know? That's how we kind of started hanging out when I was like really young. Well, you're like a little older than me, barely, like by a year, I think.
It's like a year and a half.
Mm-hmm. Right. But yeah. You're pretty stoned up.
Give me a sec.
All right.
I was like, it started, and I was like, oh, okay, it's like really going. I was like, all right.
I could tell.
Yeah, a couple of jitters there.
I could tell. I don't blame you, bro. Hey, look. Cheers. Shout out to Adrian for bringing some beer. Cheers. And flowers, bro. And flowers. Ooh, that sounded weird on the headphones. I didn't like that.
That's like punishment.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta test it out earlier, like a few seconds ago, of how it sounds to like hear your voice while you record. What do you think about that?
Oh yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be pretty distracting. But like you would have to. I'm sorry, dude. I gotta like.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh my goodness gracious! I don't know if I should leave this in or like just skip ahead.
I would love to skip ahead.
All right, I'll skip ahead. I'll skip ahead right now. Are you back to yourself?
Yeah, I think I felt a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the it's what we just did outside.
We did a lot of good things outside.
Yeah, we definitely did.
Thanks to that Nickelodeon Day of Play.
Oh my God, yeah.
Without that, we wouldn't have found all those good secret spots.
Yeah, because like I would visit, like I said, I would visit my dad like once or twice a month, and usually we'd like hang out at like parties and shit.
That's right.
Like usually like family get-togethers, stuff like that. And then we ended up finding out that we lived like right next to each other. Like you were literally behind me. Like it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't even like we were like down the street.
We're like, oh, hey, we're gonna go here to go see your cousin Caesar like move in or something. And I think it was like right when you were doing that, and it was like, wow, I can walk here. Yeah. And it was just like, cool, we're hanging out now.
And there's where we like really started hanging out.
Yeah.
Like hardcore, watching movies and shit. Bro, you showed me like so many good movies.
You showed me a lot of wrestling.
Yeah, I would show you a lot of like violent wrestling, like a lot of like cage matches, ladder matches, shit like that. It's like the most insane thing.
You'd get me in like weird locks and shit on the trampoline. And then this one time I like cried because you were like rubbing your elbow or some shit.
On your back?
Yeah.
Oh man, I forgot about that. That's terrible. I'm sorry I did that to you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pin you as a villain. Because you're all right. You're not a malicious human being.
As I touch these flowers over here.
Just lovely, beautiful flowers.
But yeah, man, I mean, we totally like live next to each other for a minute, and your family's still like, and that
they're
at
still
that
there,
address, yeah, they're still there.
Yeah, I remember like a car crashed into where your house used to be.
Yeah, that was nuts. That was pretty insane, actually. Also, like, bro, you know what I used to hate? Like, once I started like visiting, like as an adult, was like parking, like it's terrible.
It's only just like if you know, like you have to know something.
You know,
it's a cul-de-sac, by the way.
It's a cul-de-sac.
We grew up on cul-de-sacs,
but like really, like it's a tight cul-de-sac.
Yeah, like
in terms of like parking,
you wouldn't have thought that it was there. It's just like the only street of its like name just to go inside this one little neighborhood community. They're not much of a community. It's just a lot of like stray dogs and like chickens that everyone.
That's what I remember, like seeing a lot of stray dogs, shit like that. Damn, dude, what was I gonna ask you? Forgot.
Well, that's where we grew up.
Yeah, that's where we grew up.
That's where we got to
that's where we grew up.
A lot more. And mainly just being the same age. And also, we had a lot of girl cousins.
Yeah.
Thinking about it, at least from our dad's side.
Yeah, we do, which is weird because like,
and just for like that age, like they definitely like to cluster up and like, and then Hispanic family, you know, like, hey, you go hang out with the other dudes, and you know,
that's usually how it went.
Unfortunately,
yeah, for sure.
But
it's funny because like on my mom's side, we had mostly like I had mostly boy cousins. Like the majority of my cousins are like boys, and like a few girls here and there. Even though my mom has like a shitload of sisters. There's like I have like 6 aunts and like 1 uncle from like my mom's side technically.
I think you're my only like dude cousin about my same age that made it possible for me to like at least go through like, you know, growing up a little easier to be like, oh, cool, like
we could relate to different
exactly,
shit, the same shit, you know?
Like, hey, how was that potato salad? Like, you know, terrible, right?
Yeah. No, we definitely started conversating. I actually remember you, like meeting you, quote unquote, at like a party at like Luis's house, and we were just kind of there, and like I remember us being like outside, and there was like a scooter of some sort, and like that's where we first started like hanging out. It was like dark as fuck too. I remember. Yeah,
we were left alone to go wander like those neighborhoods so often.
Those neighborhoods always freaked me out, bro.
So there was something eerie about it. I mean, there was like a trailer park for one, and then the other one was kind of like suburby.
Oh yeah, mine was like a trailer park. Yeah, it was like a fucking mobile home community.
Yeah, so you have to kind of specify. Like this is not a trailer park, folks. This is a mobile home.
I think community. My dad like made that distinction like as a kid, and I was like, "It's a fucking trailer park, bro."
Like, you don't say that about her, okay? She's a beautiful home.
But yeah, Luis's were kind of like strange, bro. They were like very suburby, like very definitely on some like Halloween shit when you think about it. Like some like I don't know, something fall. When I look at those like streets, I just like picture fall.
This
I don't
place
know why.
That's like just always fall year round.
Yeah. Like there's orange leaves everywhere for whatever reason, even though there's not.
Imagine like there's an orange leaf like bandit kind of guy. He just collects leaves, paints them orange, and then just like dumps bags of them everywhere. Like it's always fall. He's like a fall wizard.
Fuck that guy, bro. That'd be terrible. What
He's not allowed to like live near schools.
He'd probably be like the local janitor, and then at the end they'd be like, "What? It was him the whole time? Are you kidding me? What?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "Motherfucker! Like, how do you not know?"
It's all of us.
But talking about movies, dude, like I said, you really like showed me some movies that because I was always into movies.
Yeah.
But I never like would know like the director or like what year it came out, you know. It was just kind of movies were movies to me.
Yeah. And
you were the first one to be like, this is Stanley Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
Or this is John Carpenter's The Thing, you know.
I think at some point I got access to like YouTube and then found whatever movies I could on there, and then would keep up with TV guides when they would come in the mail and be like, oh, this thing, like I want to watch that. On this channel, and like, or I would like just channel surf all the time. Like I really got into TV for a minute, and just kind of sponged it all up, but did a whole lot of that, and then got Netflix happened.
Oh my god, bro, you're the first person I know to ever have Netflix, straight up. Like literally the first person. You had the DVDs.
DVDs, yeah,
you had the DVDs. You didn't have like the online thing. You had like DVD. Well, I mean, you had both. I don't even know.
And there's like periods of my life where I'm just like, oh, this memory's attached to because of this, and then the red boxes started popping up everywhere.
Oh my god, yeah. Red boxes. They're like still around, I'm pretty sure, but they don't really seem that like packed as they used to.
Nah, I don't know. I feel like if it lived close to a place, I'd be like, all right, cool, yeah. Oh,
I mean, it's interesting. It's an interesting idea, like a movie fucking vending machine, you know.
What if it just like self-destructed after like a single play? You like your DVD just disintegrates.
You pick like the wrong movie and you're just like, ugh.
Yeah.
You know what I used to do, bro? And this is super illegal, but I allegedly did this.
Sure.
I had bought a Blu-ray scanner. So when I was working at the store, at a convenience store, we had a red box inside the store actually. So like before I went home, I would like rent a movie. And like whatever movie, like brand new movies, I'd get it, and then like I'd fucking totally burn it on like the Blu-ray player or the Blu-ray scanner, and I'd rip the DVD, like the main file, the title file.
Yeah.
So like I'd have the main file, like an HD pristine copy of like any brand new movie, just for like $1. And I'd return the DVD like the next day, and I just always have that copy, like all my shit.
I remember you always like getting me MP4 files of.
Oh my god, movies. Yeah. I've always been into
a bunch of movies for me right before I went to Mexico for one vacation.
Oh my god, I forgot about that, bro. Yeah, I was kind of like the movie plug, and that came from like my cousin Miguel, who like I seen like he downloaded like MP3 Rocket or like LimeWire and shit like that, so he knew. And I remember how I used to get them like after a while, because after a while that shit went away. Like LimeWire went away, MP3 Rocket went away.
Yeah, it was all giving you computer viruses.
Yeah, bro. The computer was like old as fuck, dude.
I got chewed out for that.
Yeah.
Kind of was like, what's wrong with the computer? I'm like, I don't know. It's a virus. Like, I don't like. This is beyond my pay grade, my understanding. Like, why are you yelling at me? This is a computer.
Also, we were like, what age do you think we were at the time? Like 11, 12, maybe? Like
probably, yeah. Smart enough to understand the computers, but like, it's probably 11.
Isn't it weird how like we adapted to it so quickly? I feel from like never having them before, then we had them, and like at least me, like once my cousin had internet, like, dude, yeah. I was just like surfing the web, like, okay, this is how this works. Boom.
Yeah.
Google fucking
straightforward. Like, and that's the whole point of like Apple designs.
Right.
Exactly. They just try to make it as straightforward as possible. You know, they have the mouse, keyboard, screen, icons, all of that.
I mean, even the phone is just kind of like basic. You know what I mean? You can't really like, you could customize it, but not only to like a certain extent. You know?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was gonna say, yeah, you're the one that first kind of like did the whole movie thing where I was just like, oh shit, these are like, I like these directors, you know, like a Scorsese or a Kubrick especially. I remember Kubrick being like the big one because you showed me, I think Shining was on the TV. Also AMC, bro. Your family would always be checking out AMC, the channel.
Yeah, I think
it would always be on.
For a moment, we were pretty dysfunctional up until we could bond over certain things, and some of this stuff was always just like gathering around to like watch something.
See, that's crazy, bro. My family didn't do any of that shit.
I mean, think about like movies. It's kind of meditative. It's like sit down, shut up, watch the same experience, and then reflect upon it afterwards. So we like going to the movies.
It would be like going. Yeah, I mean that with the Netflix shit. Netflix and AMC were definitely like what I remember like going to your house. That shit was usually always on. You know?
You know, speaking of like, I remember like Walking Dead, just like bringing the family together because it always plays on Sunday.
Oh my God!
And it was just
I
like
forgot about that
coincidence. Like it was a Halloween, and I had kept up with it because I saw previews about it, and I was like, oh man, that looks really cool. And like I was like, oh, it's gonna come on Sunday, and I checked the TV guide, and I was like, here he goes, The Walking Dead. You know, like, let's go. And
I remember seeing the comics somewhere, bro. I had went to like a comics shop and like they totally had like volume 1 of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, there's like whole compendiums. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
It's crazy.
Honestly, I never even pick it up.
It's nuts. I remember seeing that in like Invincible, which is like an Amazon show. I've never if you ever seen that, the like animated dude, he's like blue. I think he's actually voiced by Glenn from The Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot his name, Steven Yeun, I think, or some shit like that. Right. He voices the main guy in Invincible, which was like an old Image comic from like ever ago. That's so cool. When I saw it animated, I'm like, what the fuck? Like I remember the story arc. Like I remember some of the like storylines and shit like that, and the arcs and stuff. So it's just a trip. I'm like, what the fuck? This has a show? That and The Boys too, which The Boys I never haven't really like kept up with like that. But
I liked all the concepts like for The Boys, but I haven't like watched it. But like it's because I just watched like collected bits of it, you know, the snippets in recaps on YouTube, and I'm curious if like that's like the new format for like just
right. I mean, I guess
like,
that's the
like you can start
now.
A full in-depth conversation about a movie by just watching like a recapping of it. So where you know like the entire gist, but let's say instead of an hour and 45 minutes, you understood it in like 20 minutes, just like bite-sized like info of the shit. You know, I did that with Game of Thrones. With like from like season 1 to like season 4, I believe. I like Spark Notes.
Yeah, I only watched like a recap video from this guy named Ozzy. Ozzy Reviews. It's some Australian dude who just like reviews a bunch of random shit. Yeah. Some Australian dude, like I said, and he just like he did like full on recaps with footage of this show, like in the recap. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. Like I'll watch this. It'll save me some time. And then like from season 5 through like wherever the fuck it ended at, I think 8. I was watching this shit like live, and I was like, "Damn, this is a really good show." Eventually, I did go back, and this show is really good. But it was weird. Like that was the first show that I remember watching recaps to like catch up in order to watch it. You know,
right?
Like I could do that now with Stranger Things, but I feel like I'd rather just watch it from the beginning. You know,
I lost so much enthusiam for the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I've heard like really good things, but I just haven't. I've never watched it, bro, at all, ever. I haven't seen anything about it. Well, I've seen like little shit, but nothing like major, you know?
Yeah. I have the soundtrack on vinyl. It was a Christmas gift, and I was like, that's cool.
What do you think is like pulling you out of the show? Is it the hype of the show? The suspense is killing me right now, Adrian.
Sorry, it's just like it. I'm realizing that like I might get chewed out for.
Oh.
It's not even that strong of an opinion. The thing is, it is an opinion.
Go ahead.
Nah, anyway, I won't get into it.
You won't get into it?
It's another episode. It's fine.
Oh shit. Okay. Damn, man. I'm really like curious about your Stranger Things opinion.
Yeah.
It's very 80s, which is like I figure like you would like enjoy that kind of like that vibe, you know.
All right, I definitely liked it when I first started watching it, and when we got to the second one, what happened in the second one?
I don't remember, bro. I haven't seen the show at all, dude.
In all honesty, I think I'm just too stoned to like really get into Stranger Things right now. I was
yeah?
like, yeah, you got me to the point where I was like,
But don't worry about it.
Well, think about like the concept of it all. Like it's very convoluted, and then you kind of like got to dissect it, and it's just like, sorry,
yeah, it's a bit
much.
much.
Blow up there. It was a loaded question.
I feel you. It is kind of
there's a lot going on in Stranger Things.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in Stranger. It's kind of you can't really like simplify.
In fact,
there's
too much. Maybe that's why I don't like it anymore. It was
because it's too much shit going on.
Yeah, I feel like it tried to jam pack too much into like what it needed to be, and it just kind of like kept throwing things at you, and I couldn't help but feel like there was too much intention behind it all. It just seemed far too fabricated, and I don't know. Maybe that makes me. It doesn't matter. I could see it.
You see what they're going for, is what you mean. Like you see, like I can see what they're doing. The promo and like
I'm not watching a show anymore. I'm watching one big commercial.
Oh man, damn.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm watching one big commercial, and then what ends up happening is I go to the mall and you see all the Stranger Things stuff everywhere.
Merch everywhere.
And I'm just like
jackets, hoodies.
Yeah, and I'm just like, what does it have to do with anything?
I guess they're trying to capitalize on the fucking on the popularity of the show.
Yeah.
I do remember watching a lot of.
I'm really happy for the kids. I hope
they're all old
super
now.
Healthy
that's kind of cool,
and
yeah.
like be a better example for how child actors should be treated. That's really important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there should be more attention on that. And then
yeah,
just being
I mean, they all
healthy
grew
fucking
up,
kids and let them be kids.
Mm-hmm.
They're like teenagers, right?
They're all older now. Yeah, I mean, they're at least like 17, I think, 18
so
maybe.
Watching
It's kind of crazy.
Grow up. Like I remember like watching Full House.
Oh yeah, you
like,
see all the kids.
that little girl is always that age.
How old did the twins get on that show?
The twins, Mary Kate and Ashley.
Yeah, how old did they get? Like by the end of it, because I remember watching Full House, but
yeah,
honestly,
like,
I couldn't like tell you like any.
Yeah, it's like when they were all
details.
like at Disneyland and stuff, and they're all super sponsored and big at that point. Yeah, that show got pretty huge. That house got really full.
Uncle Jesse, which is John Stamos, I remember him. Bob Saget, obviously.
Yeah, R.I.P.
But R.I.P. for sure. But I couldn't like, I don't know. I couldn't tell you like specific details of the show at all. You know. Who was the other guy?
I watched a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched so much Full House.
You know, I like.
Always on like a Nick at Night.
You know what I like, bro? The theme song.
Everywhere you look,
I don't want to get sued. Let's cut that short.
Oh, that's right. Good thing we don't know the words. You can't sue us if I didn't say anything.
Yeah, that theme song is like pretty legendary. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Most of those theme songs were really like legendary. That's good. I want like now that's what I call great sound, like opening
like
songs.
Opening themes, title songs.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, Fresh Prince had a pretty good one. Honestly, can't really beat that one, to be honest with you.
That's pretty true. I'm trying to think of a better one.
You know what I'm saying? It's so memorable. I feel like I know it word for word. If I had to like rap it, you could dance to it.
They got you.
What about
maybe some of like the Disney ones?
Like the Disney.
That's So Raven's pretty great.
That's so Raven. Yeah. It's the future I can see.
Yeah.
You know what's funny, bro? I always talk about this, but like I was into Disney, but not like that. Like I was definitely more of a Cartoon Network / Nickelodeon. Really, Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network were like the two that.
Maybe I understood pretty early on that like
know?
it had the intent to sell you something, you know,
right?
And maybe Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network weren't so obvious about it. There's definitely like a reflection in like at least the commercials. I'm curious if like different places in the U.S. got different commercials.
Remember you said like I remember you pointed out to me like Disney didn't have commercials. It was just all Disney related
Disney
shit.
related things.
Yeah.
And like I realized that like even when you cut to commercial break, you're still just watching the Disney Channel, and the Disney Channel is really just like an afterthought. They wanted to compete with like.
You pointed it out to me, and I could never unsee it. I was like, "What the fuck? They never go to break. It's just like always Disney.
Yeah,
you know? Everything Disney.
Always, yeah. It's like Disney in this part of the world, and
that's what I'm saying, bro. I would legit like just switch the channel to like Nickelodeon.
Yeah, it'd be like a Disney music video, and like that's just because they were just cranking out child actors.
Yeah,
and, like,
it'd be like a music video of like fucking.
They found a formula with like Raven. And
I was gonna say Saved by the Bell. What the fuck is it called? The basketball one, High School Musical. Yeah. Right. That it'd be like a full video of them playing basketball. Get your head in the game. That's how I know those songs, bro. Just from those like little commercials. Not even the fucking like.
No,
not even watching the movie.
Loved those, and so I was like, all right, well,
Leslie, shout out to Leslie.
Yeah.
That's the thing on the show. Everyone always gets like a shout out, bro.
Okay.
Damn, dude. I don't mean to bring the mood down, but I definitely wanted to mention this on the pod. My Sony RX100 Mark V, my camera. Totally ate shit on Saturday, dude.
Oh, what'd you do?
Yeah, I had it on a tripod, the one we're looking at right now.
Okay.
And but like the fucking footing wasn't like this. It was on dirt, and I figured like maybe I didn't like lock all the legs out, or I honestly don't even know what the fuck happened, but it just tipped over. My friend Oscar tried to catch it, and it totally like ate shit, like lens first to the thing. And at first I was like, man, maybe I have dirt in there, but like the lens wouldn't retract.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, what the fuck? So I took it to I think Houston Camera Care or some shit like that. Shout out to them. I don't know if it's them or not, but homeboy is gonna give me like a free estimate on how much it's gonna be.
Okay.
And if it's too much, then I might just have to get a new camera, honestly. Cause I've been looking at one, but like I'm really close to paying off my car, so I'm just like, let me just do that, and then like the month after I'll get like a camera. But now I'm kind of like, it's kind of forcing my hand to like pulling the trigger of like doing that shit.
Yeah,
you know?
This puts a pause in your photography right now.
It does, yeah. And it's funny, I actually took a job earlier for like I think July 12th or July something like that. But by then I should have like something, you know.
Something.
Even my friend Oscar said he could get his camera from his friend.
Yeah,
like
you could borrow something easily.
Yeah.
I think I have a camera.
Yeah?
I'll let you know.
Let me know.
I'm gonna do an inventory of all my stuff.
Let me know. Yeah, let me know.
Moving's fun.
Yeah, you're in the middle of a move right now. I hate moving, dude. As a kid, I did it a lot. I don't know if you remember, but I would move a lot.
Speaking, moving's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know where anything is. It's disorienting.
Like, I hate it so much, bro. As a kid, I'll be like, what? We're moving? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, God, it was so fucking annoying, dude. Especially when I remember one time we moved from like the north side to like Aldine. But like, I went to like Aldine ISD. It's at Thompson Elementary, I think. And I had like a really good time there, bro. At first I was like, man, it's going to suck. Like, all I knew was going to like Northline with those like that group of kids.
Yeah.
And I totally went to Aldine and I had like a really good time, bro. I wish that I would have kept contact with one of them, but like I just didn't.
You know, I ran into some people from middle school at the bar.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah. It blew my mind, man. Like I was like, I haven't thought about these people in forever. Unfortunately, I'm just so like forward thinking sometimes. I try to reflect where I can, but I don't know. There's a lot that like I just haven't thought about in a while. You know, people experiences, and it's crazy. Like you see these people and like, hey, dude, it's me. And I'm just like, what? No way.
How did were you able to tell right away, or would it take a couple minutes?
He had to say his name, and I was like,
oh, really?
Yeah. I was like, oh, the combination. We used to hang out all the time. We used to get into weird little hood rat shit. And like it was,
oh my God.
Yeah. And then he was like, and like he still hangs out with like the other dudes from middle school too. And I was like, wow,
that would trip me out, bro. If I ran into someone from like elementary, dude. I mean, elementary. The only person I know is Josh. Shout out to Josh. Josh is the only person that I talk to from elementary. I don't think I talk to anyone else from elementary, bro. I have them on Facebook, I think, technically. I have some people from like pre-K and shit technically still like on Facebook, but we don't conversate. And if I saw him in person, I'd be like, what? Like, this is crazy.
Right.
Definitely give him a hug and shit like that.
Yeah.
I mean, was he in good health? Was he, I mean...
They all seem like fine adults.
Yeah?
Like, just doing their own thing.
That is weird,
it's
bro.
weird.
You think back to that, then you just kind of like took a little time skip to like adulthood. Like, now you guys are adults.
Yeah, and then I threw up everywhere. I'm just kidding.
You threw
up? I was so repulsed by the experiencing time that I just...
Oh, man, I don't blame you.
I just self-destructed.
Time's so like... I remember as a kid, I would think of, like, once it sat in that like we're gonna die one day, you know, not to get morbid or anything, but like once like that reality hit me, I remember like being like a fucking 7-8-year-old, like freaking out, like maybe even 9 years old, like we're all gonna die. Like Adrian's gonna die, my mom's gonna die.
You ever get freaked out watching Day After Tomorrow?
Oh,
I watched that shit in the theaters.
Dude.
It was so devastating. I was like, ah,
Jesus. Oh, those like end of the world films.
They all came out in one big go.
That's fucking funny, dude. You know what movie you like rented? Not to get off topic, but I remember you rented Cloverfield.
Oh, I love that movie.
I love it, but you know what's funny? I remember us like both talking shit about it right after.
We're like, what? Man, you can't see anything. Blah, blah, blah.
Like, dude, that movie fucking sucked. And then like we were like really shitting on it as kids, bro. Yeah. But as an adult, dude, I fucking love that movie so much.
Creature design, like the monster design.
Oh my god!
Any like something falling from the sky, and you can see in the background, and like what is that? And I'm like, oh my god, it's like these baby things. Like what are those things? And it's like you can kind of like piece it together every time you watch it. It's an interesting one.
I hated that VHS. Oh, good. Oh yeah, I seen VHS.
Yeah,
that's another
trip too.
You know, that's another like Netflix classic, bro. That show's on Netflix for the longest.
There were some movies that were just like always on there. That's like how Netflix was originally. Like, I feel like things were really on there for that much longer, and it seemed like your queue or like your like list or whatever was like pretty well stocked. And you're like, yeah, I've got my collection here of things that I can watch, and then all of a sudden they're like, all right, cool, time's up. We're like, what?
Yeah, time's up.
And they start like cycling through them. I'm just like, oh man, this sucks.
It's terrible, bro. It's terrible. That's how I feel like. And I got into it with I think 2 weeks ago with Ulysses from Inside the North Side podcast. Shout out to him. We had got into like the idea of like physical media being dead. Aside from like vinyls, 'cause I think vinyls are like making a comeback. Mm-hmm. But like as far as like Blu-rays and shit, dude, like you know how much of a fucking DVD/Blu-ray collector I am. Yeah. Like I mean,
cars don't even have CD players anymore.
It's insane. It kind of weirds me out that mine's does. It's like a 2016, and it still has like a CD player. I don't put anything in there. I don't fucking have CDs to put in there. But I'm just kind of like, wow. Like,
just keep I kept the Pulp Fiction soundtrack in mind for the longest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's perfect for any occasion.
That is perfect for any occasion.
Like any occasion, it's great.
You're going
like,
out,
there's like
you
surf
put it on.
rock on there. There's like,
oh my god,
there's Al Green in there. Like, it's perfect.
That's another director that you kind of like put me on to, Quentin Tarantino, bro.
Yeah,
Reservoir
like
Dogs,
found that Fiction. Together. Yeah, and then just like shout out to Walmart. Nah,
yeah.
I'm just kidding. But hey, we always snagged all those like $5 movie bin.
Yeah,
deals.
yeah, definitely. No, I remember I had like Reservoir, Pulp Fiction, and I think Jackie Brown. I think those three were in the package, and I was just like, "What is this?" And I put it on. I was like, "Whoa!" Each of them just blew my fucking mind. Like, goddamn, they're so fucking good, you know. Especially Reservoir Dogs. I think that's the one that we kind of like watched. And then obviously Pulp Fiction as well.
Yeah, it's fun just seeing everything smashed together into one format, and then even more so now with people being inspired by like those directors, and it's just like it's just you're gonna keep getting one big compressed forever movie bean dip
of everything. Yeah,
yeah,
that's awesome, man. Yeah, no, we're both like really big fans of films and shit.
One monster jelly bean.
One Stay Puft fucking marshmallow, man. Like, you know, that's a movie that I've never seen, bro. I've never seen Ghostbusters ever.
I don't think I've seen it from beginning to end. I don't know. Maybe it's not that good.
Damn, bro. You know what movie that I think you like that I don't kind of like? Ferris Bueller's Day Off, bro. Do you like that movie? How do you feel about that, bro?
He's just too privileged for me, and it's a little unrelatable. The whole time
it's
I'm like,
kind of unrelatable,
like,
right?
Why is Cameron getting the shit stick out of all of this? Like,
yeah,
and him, he's just like, I'm just gonna go, face my dad after Ferris Bueller like launched me into this new
venture
hellhole of like having to deal with shit. But I mean, he had to shake up Cameron somehow.
Did you ever hear the theory that Cameron is Ferris, and like that's like his like alternate ego, his alter ego is Ferris Bueller, and he's like Cameron? Because isn't he like flirting with his girlfriend and shit? Am I tripping? Didn't she like kiss him on the cheek or some shit? The fuck's up with that, bro?
I don't know. She was oddly open with her seduction.
Yeah. She was like making moves on him and shit. Also like Ferris was like kind of he just seemed like a shitty boyfriend, to be honest with you. He's always like
he's kind of a piece of shit.
He's kind of yucking it up a lot.
Yeah,
you know?
he's really manipulative. He's like, come on, we're just gonna
not.
go do this.
Yeah.
Check this
guys.
out. You guys suck for not wanting to do what I want to do.
What song did he sing like downtown? Was it like a Beatles song? What was it?
Is it not Twist and Shout?
Oh, it is. Yeah, I think.
Don't shake it up, baby. That is.
Shake it up, baby. Oh my god. Yeah, he was like a dick. That's really what I got from the movie. I was like, God, what a dickhead. Like, what the fuck this guy, bro? I don't like this fucking Ferris. But like a Breakfast Club, I get it. It's a good movie.
That was great.
That's a good movie. Even like 16 Candles, I think is like a good movie. You know, not like something I'd watch all the time, but like, you know what I mean? Like I'd put on, like I consider a good 80s movie. I think
they got you with like the soundtrack and like the lighting and like this, just like the shots and like
the aesthetic of everything.
The aesthetic was like pretty locked in. Now the ethics of it, garbage. Yeah. Terrible. Yeah. It's bad.
Yeah, the acting's kind of like shit.
But for PG-13, you do get some topless scenes in there, so
there are titties in that movie, huh?
For all the kids listening, you can watch a PG-13 movie. I mean, I guess it's pretty much easier now. The internets are going to be installed into your heads.
Yeah. So. Yeah, definitely. I was going to tell you, you know who else? Kevin Smith. That's another director we kind of like got into with Clerks.
I feel like you showed me Clerks. That was
yeah. That's one that I put you on to for sure. And you were kind of like at the fucking beginning of this whole like podcast thing. I don't remember, but I remember like showing you episodes of shit or like showing you video clips of like different podcasts and being like, oh my God, this is like amazing. Like I always watch this. Every time I was playing games on my computer, I would have like a podcast or like a commentary like in the background and shit.
Yeah. I don't know. I was always like a music guy. Mm-hmm. Like music.
Do you go to sleep to music or would you like put like rain sounds?
I used to. I don't listen to anything to sleep to anymore. I never found anything comfortable enough. I became too physically aware of whatever it was, and if it was just like on like in the room, you know, like in an open room and like not like a headphones or anything, like it would be too loud and like, I would want it like more closer, more intimate, and it wouldn't work.
Okay.
Something wrong about it. But like I do like listening to things with my eyes closed, so it just like it became problematic where I would wake up in a tangle or lose a pod or.
Damn.
Like it was just it's problematic.
Damn, I never thought about it that way. But no, I feel you. Usually I like put on some music to like kind of like mellow me out, and then I'll put the rain sounds or like a podcast, you know, some shit like that.
I'm pretty restless, and I think I became too dependent on it too. Well, the thing is, like, I would want to find the perfect one.
That's
the
key.
I'm just scrolling through these things longer than I should be, and before you know it, I'm looking at a screen, and I'm finding myself in a YouTube hole or, you know, somewhere where I should be. If you're given a phone when you're an insomniac, like you're gonna want to like.
That's not a good combination. No, definitely not. No. I was gonna tell you, bro. Back to the fucking
Future.
I lost my train. You know, that's another movie I've never seen, bro. Back to the Future.
Seen it?
Never.
Yeah, I haven't seen Star Wars.
Really, any of them? The guy that came on, like I said 2 weeks ago, he's really into Star Wars, bro. And honestly, like I told him like that I felt like Star Wars was like a little overrated, but they're okay.
I think good for them. That's totally
I just think like if you like fucking knock the movies down, like all 9 of them, at least like the main like Skywalker kind of thing,
right?
There's more bad than good, and I don't think that's like a good combination. You know,
that's how I feel like about the Jurassic Park.
You know, I've seen those, but like I don't like remember them at all, to be honest with you.
Really?
No.
I was catching them on cable.
As a kid, they used to like freak. I'm like, oh fuck dinosaurs, like this is badass. Yeah. But as an adult, I never seen like the remakes at all. I know they did like 2, and this is the 3rd one that came out.
I always loved the first one. It was just really good sci-fi.
Did they go to the city at all? Am I making that up?
No, they go. It's in the. I think it's in the second one.
They go to like New York, right, or some shit.
It's like Jason in New York or some shit. You know?
Jesus Christ! Jason goes to New York.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
And then he goes to hell.
Well, you know what? Horror movies. That's something else we like kind of like got into, movies, dude. Man. Yeah, we kind of got into like.
What's
horror
your favorite
movies.
horror movie?
Exorcist.
Is it really?
I think.
What was your first experience with The Exorcist?
Bro, that's one that like actually got me, cause like Miguel, my cousin, which is like it's funny cause like He's like my main cousin on like my mom's. You're the main cousin on my dad's.
Yeah.
It's a little side tangent, and like when you guys finally met each other, I was so fucking geeked. I was like, yo, like, bless you, Gesundheit. God bless you.
You know what 3 sneezes means, right?
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Well, yeah, you guys were like when you and Miguel finally met. That shit blew my fucking mind, dude. I was just like, whoa, this is like
What is this, a crossover episode?
Dude, it was totally like a crossover episode. I was like, what the fuck is going on right now? This is nuts. I just had a smile on my face the whole time.
That's fun. It's
It's
so
awesome.
weird. Like your worlds collide. I don't know. I think it's so weird because I'm just a different person sometimes with different people, and like
I feel you on
those
that.
circles always end up like mixing together and just like
It is weird to like when they finally like interact and shit. But back to Miguel, my other cousin, he was like really, him and like Eddie and our whole group of friends were really into like horror movies. They'd always have like Chucky on or like Freddy vs. Jason, Jeepers Creepers. Like it was just always like in the background.
Yeah.
And we just laugh at them. Like we thought they were pretty. Well, I mean, I guess, but by that time they were kind of funny. Like Chucky was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like the seed of Chucky was like fucking hilarious, you know.
Well, they're made to be that way. Like there's always an element of like comedy sometimes to some horror.
Funny shit. Yeah, it's usually like some funny shenanigans. Even like some of the deaths are like kind of funny, you know.
Yeah. I think that's part of it. You kind of need that to uplift it. I mean, if you want to terrorize somebody, then fucking do it.
Exorcist though definitely got me terrified. I was like, well, I think just because like we weren't raised, or at least me, I wasn't raised like super religious. It was kind of odd when my dad would be like, yo, you ready to go to church? And I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, yeah, that's crazy. Because we go to church like for fucking Ash Wednesday, shit like that, you know?
Really? Yeah,
we would never go on a week-to-week like basis at all. Never. That was never a thing. Like with my family, at least like my mom's side of the family, it was never a thing. But you guys did, no? I remember like seeing you guys go to church like semi-regularly. My dad did.
Semi-regularly. We're kind of like raised like diet Jehovah Witness basically because my grandma was Jehovah's Witness. And
damn, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, but my parents weren't really practicing at all. My dad's Catholic, but I don't really see too much practice of it. Just in terms of like, I don't know, like a blatant outward example of like I am in this religion kind of thing. I don't see much of it other than just like knowing their internal belief. Where is it going with this?
We were talking about like horror movies and shit. So The Exorcist, I think.
Oh yeah, religion.
With the religion tie-in, really like freaked me out as a kid. I was like, wow, this could happen. And then like being on the internet and googling like, yo, real exorcism, shit like that, you know?
Yeah,
that definitely
really
added to.
About it. You think you believe in ghosts? What's going on in there?
I don't know about ghosts. Aliens for sure.
Yeah.
Aliens I'm like really into. I'm not into it like that, but I'm just kind of like, for sure there's definitely life or something else out there. I think it's just too big for us just to be like the one like out of like a million or whatever the fuck, you know.
Yeah, I feel like just based on understanding that kind of leads us to be agnostic both.
Yeah, we're both agnostic.
I mean, I have
for sure.
General understanding of other religions, like I understand, but like none of it is just like nothing pulls me into being into just one.
No,
I don't know.
No, definitely not.
We can learn a lot from them and like practice certain parts
ideologies,
just
being a good person
exercises.
overall. You know what I mean? Yeah, I feel you on that. That's how kind of like I've always felt that way. Once I like realized I was agnostic, like I hope this is true. Like, you know what I mean? Like I hope all this shit, like is like there's like a higher being and shit like that. Like that'd be kind of cool. But like I'm not gonna just dwell on it and like be really like fixated on it. You know what I mean? Although I will say this, I do like the religious like imagery. I'm a big fan of crosses, rosaries. I think are pretty cool. Any like rose related thing, like I don't know. I think it's like cool. You know, candles, all the candles that are around, especially like in Mexican culture. You know, we always have like a bunch of shit.
Very romantic.
Yeah, it's very like romanticized so for sure. Yeah.
And I think that's beautiful. I think it's beautiful that
they're really
associated together. And I think maybe just like feeling that romance and power and love just kind of empowers you anyways too, to be able to see the imagery of something like that. Like it makes sense. I
was gonna say, what would your favorite horror movie be if you had to pick one? What's one that you think of? I say horror.
No,
The Fly. Oh my god, what a fucking crazy movie!
It's great. I think
Jeff Goldblum. Baby.
I love the sci-fi, the concept, the special effects of that movie is fantastic. Yes. David Cronenberg. Oh man.
You know what else? I'd say aside from like, even though it didn't scare me at all. The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing.
Is dope. I actually saw that just recently, and
really,
like, it's such a weird gap for like me having seen.
Damn, really, that's crazy. Yeah, I remember seeing it like on TV and being like, "What the fuck?" And then I bought the Blu-ray, and I was like, "Bro, the Blu-ray is like $5 at like Walmart." And I was like, "Shout out to Walmart again." I was like, "I gotta get it." Put it on, and I was just like, "Whoa, these special effects are fucking insane." At first, I was like, "Oh, it's computer, it's CGI," and then like you look it up and like, nah, these are all practical effects. Like, it just adds so much to the movie. You know, you're just like, damn, they really. This is like a legit like film. Not that like, because I think animators like, I don't know if they get a bad rap, but like. Definitely like hardworking people, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But there is something like about that physical touch that it's like more like realistic.
It's so glistening and glossy and just
hits
it the same way that it hits everything else, and like there's no discussion about it. Like, man, I have a real fondness for like some really good
practical effects,
and I had a problem with like. It Chapter 2 and just like in general, like some parts were just too CGI.
I feel you on that.
Yeah, I couldn't suspend the the disbelief. Like I couldn't.
What about do you ever watch like trauma films like Toxic Avenger and shit like that? Those kind of like really like low budget like horror movies, because those are like practical effects are all like I mean those are all practical effects, but like they're all like really like crudely, not crudely made, but like they're kind of like. They don't have the budget of like a Freddy or a budget of like a Jason, you know. They're pretty good, man. They're pretty funny, honestly. Like Toxic Avenger, and I think there's a couple one like Death of Nukem High or some shit like that. Like those kind of like old like those are like video store like fucking movies that are released to like rent shit.
That's awesome. I just follow a lot of like clips on Instagram of just like other like it's like VHS of Death. Shout out to them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of cool like clips and stuff of like. 80s, 90s VHS horror, just like snippets of like gore. Anyways,
we were talking about. I wanted to get into like your favorite movies, dude. I feel like that'd be a good way to like get into like what kind of movies and films you are, because like I said, when I think of you, I think of like two things: music for sure, because we both were into the Beatles, we both were into like certain bands like really hardcore, and movies for sure. Those are the two things that I think of.
Those are really great to just bond with.
Right? We're just like, like Fight Club.
A heavy amount of culture, yeah.
Dude, like Fight Club really just blew my mind. I remember having that on my PSP because I heard like a guy on YouTube talking about it, and I was like, oh shit. He's like, this is my favorite movie ever. And I'm like, dude, I have to watch it. So I watched it. I remember it was like a day before school. I had school the next day. I watched it on my PSP. And as soon as it was done, I just fucking hit the left trigger and like rewinded it from the beginning. I was like, I gotta watch this. I'm watching this again.
Right.
And I was tired as fuck from school. I had school the whole day. I was just like dead. But like when I got home, I was just like, what a fucking movie. Like it completely blew me away. I remember like talking to you about it like right away. Like, you have to watch this. Like, you have to watch this movie.
I get that so rarely nowadays. That feeling where like the movie ended and you're like, again.
I haven't seen that. Yeah, I haven't had that rather. I had that for like, the big like Spider-Man, but like it's different because like it's a full-on like experience, you know what I mean? It's like a full-on like thing, the hype, everything around it, you know what I mean? Like Fight Club, I wasn't really like, I wasn't overly hyped to see. I was just kind of like, damn, what a good movie.
I caught it on coincidence actually. It was just like showing on cable, but like I caught it like less than a third in, whatever math that might be. Think about it. Anyways, I missed like the first part of it, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. But then I wanted to watch it from the beginning.
Right.
And it wasn't the same.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
man.
I already knew the reveal.
You knew the big like surprise, and I had no idea the surprise. So it totally like that totally hit like to the like degree they wanted it to hit. It totally fucking hit, dude.
It just caught me at a point where I was like, oh, cool. This seems cool and interesting off of just watching on a glimpse of channel surfing.
Oh my god!
Which is like how powerful, like how well made that was. Just it gets you in, and you're in. I don't know.
If you had to give me though, like your top 5 films off the top of the dome.
Trainspotting.
Okay, that's one. Is that no order or order?
All right.
No order.
Donnie Darko.
Donnie Darko. Oh my god, it's another movie we need to talk about because like holy shit, you definitely put me onto that.
Yeah.
And like that's the movie that like blew my mind for sure. I'm
Iron.
still kind of like, what the fuck was going on there? You know?
Oh, I've dove into that.
Yeah, I'd want to like do like a breakdown of the movie and like bring you back on to like kind of decipher like the codes and shit.
Of course,
because it was such a good movie. You haven't seen Donnie Darko, for sure watch it.
Yeah.
I think it might be on Hulu. I think maybe Hulu.
Everything's on Amazon.
Yeah, low key it might be on Amazon as well. You could just rent it.
Sorry.
Trainspotting, Donnie Darko.
Iron Giant.
The Iron Giant,
Yeah.
when Vin Diesel was as the Iron Giant.
Vin Diesel as the Iron Giant. That movie's amazing.
Yeah, it's really good, man.
It's
it's a good movie.
That's like precursor for The Incredibles. You know?
Oh man, yeah, for sure. I did not expect that one. That one definitely threw me off. Trainspotting for sure, I knew that one, but and Donnie Darko, but not the Iron Giant. You got 2 more slots. What are you thinking?
I really love Little Miss Sunshine.
Oh, you know what? That's another movie we like bond over. That's an awesome movie, bro.
Yeah, that's wholesome as hell.
I love Steve Carell in that movie. Fantastic. Just like the whole idea of being like down in the dumps. And he was like the first gay character that I was like, damn, like this guy's gay. And like as a kid, you know, you're kind of like immature, like, oh, you're gay. You know what I mean? Like shit like that.
Yeah, it made it's very real. It was so honest. It was just you know, a lower income American family just going through it. There's like money issues. They openly talk about it. They're just functional as fuck. Like it was just so honest, and like they felt like a family, and they felt like they didn't work together like at all. You know, like it was.
Yeah, it felt very real, very very real.
And it was just like it was nice to just see like the beauty and like the mundanity. Like I don't know.
And everyone knocks it out of the park, by the way, too. Like every
Great
actor
cast.
kills that shit, you know.
Yeah.
Great ensemble cast. But yeah, Steve Carell's character, I was just like, man, just seeing him down in the dumps, and like I said, seeing him be like suicidal. Like when it first opens, he has like bandages on his wrist and shit like that. Just seeing that, I was like, damn. It was the first, like I said, the first gay character. I was like, whoa.
The title sequence opens up on his face, yeah, with him.
He's just like down. He just like he looks so sad, and you're kind of like, what's wrong with this guy? Like, what the fuck? And then he turned out to be like a fucking sweetheart. You're just kind of like, oh man, I love this fucking guy.
Yeah.
Like, I hate that you're even like going through all this shit. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It made me very like aware of like, I don't know. It just made me more cultured. I feel more like educated on like people and like different sexes and shit like that. Different like what's it called, bro? Preferences. I don't even know what the fuck it's called. Like your sexuality, rather.
Really?
Yeah. Because I remember seeing like I said, saw Steve Carell being like, damn. This is a gay character who, like, I don't see him as being gay. I see him as, like, a guy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Before, as, like, a gay thing would be, like, whoa, like, this person is gay. Like, that's totally different. Yeah. Whereas, like, as a kid, I was probably, like, 8 or 9 and being like, damn, like, this guy's, like, really going through it. And sometimes I feel like I'm going through it as a kid, you know? So, as a kid, I was just kind of like, nah, man. Like, on some level, like, I definitely, like, feel him on, like, him just being, like, down in the dumps, you know?
Yeah.
It was crazy. But what would that be your fourth then? Little Miss Sunshine?
Oh man.
So as you said, Trainspotting, Donnie Darko, Iron Giant, Little Miss Sunshine. So you got one more slot then, dude.
13 Ghosts.
13 Ghosts?
Yeah, I love that movie.
Dude, I kind of want to watch that now. Holy shit, I haven't seen that in forever.
That's really good.
Is that the one with Shaggy? Does it have Shaggy in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Forgot his actual name.
I don't know his name.
Yeah, great actor.
Shaggy. Shout out to Shaggy.
Shout out to Shaggy.
That's a pretty good top 5, bro. Those are pretty. I assume they were all like highly rated like movies, you know.
Yeah, they're really good staples.
Yeah,
and like there's
a little bit of like everything as well.
It's just
you have like Trainspotting. You have like early 20s shit, just shenanigans in general, you know.
Yeah, it's like if you had a shotgun shell and all the little, you know, bits of it went across the genre board, like that's where they all
being like messy. It's just like a messy, like the messy parts of your life is like Trainspotting for sure.
Yeah. That was one of the movies that actually got me like where it finished, and I was like, wow, I gotta watch that again.
Really?
Know? Yeah.
Oh yeah, it
really ended, good. And I was like, oh okay, cool. And it was mainly because I didn't understand it, so then I watched it with subtitles, and I was like, oh my, like it even more.
Yo,
now.
You want to talk about like a movie we bonded over, bro? Shaun of the Dead.
Oh yeah,
Shaun of the Dead was something you put me on.
Yeah.
Actually, the whole like Cornetto trilogy you put me on, and I was like, "Yo, what the humor was just like off the charts." And I remember showing you The Office, which is ironic because like
you
The
did
Office is
show me The
British,
Office.
yeah.
You showed me that to me.
Yeah, I showed you The Office, and you showed me Shaun of the Dead, and then we found out there was like a British version of The Office. So I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, and we're like, we were into it at the time.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
funny seeing like what you grow into because I didn't always like King of the Hill growing up, and I'd be like, oh man, King of the Hill's on.
You like change it.
Yeah, I think
I
I
thought
got
that
so
way
sucked
every once
into
in a while. Yeah,
the Simpsons, and now I'm just like, oh, it's fucking amazing.
it's amazing.
This is the best, smartest show in the world. Like,
I used to like
will
King of the
always
Hill,
watch
but
this.
like it would be like slightly inappropriate sometimes. So like my mom would be like, "Who are these like people animated that look like people?" You know?
Right? I mean, they're throwing all the curves in there, so they're gonna draw them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was just kind of like, "Oh shit!" So every time I felt like a sense of like being uncomfortable. Like, oh my god, if it's on and my mom's in the same room, like,
it's
oh,
always
man.
funny, like watching things that you shouldn't be watching.
Yes,
in the
yes,
shared
dude.
family room setting, because like.
Terrible.
That's just how TVs work.
So many movies I've showed my dad, bro, where like I would just leave to the restroom when I knew some sex scene would pop up. I knew a sex scene was coming.
Can't say I haven't already done that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm going to the restroom. I'll be back. And then like I'll come back and he'll be like giggling or like laughing and shit. I'm like, what happened? What I missed?
He knows.
Yeah, I know. I fucking know. I knew Dad the whole time.
That's hilarious.
If I had to give my top
there might
five,
have been like one or two times I was asked to maybe leave the room or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never like closed your eyes or like, yo, close your eyes, Adrian?
No, I think it would just be like, oh, cool, we're watching it. Tight. Nobody said anything.
Sometimes like nowadays, like if my mom's watching a movie, whenever she always has like HBO on, so like there's always some shit going on. She'll like fast forward it real quick.
Yeah. I definitely got caught watching South Park once, and I was like,
oh man, I also got in trouble for watching South Park. Actually, from like my aunt. Like my aunt had like my other aunt babysit us, and my other aunt was like cool with us watching like whatever. We watched South Park, wrestling, like literally anything we could watch, and she wouldn't say anything. She was this old Hispanic like lady who only spoke Spanish, so she didn't know what the fuck they were saying.
Oh man.
And one time we were watching South Park, and it was the episode where like I think Mr. Garrison, no, not Mr. Garrison. Who's the one that becomes a president?
A couple of them become grown
With the puppet. With the puppet. Is it Mr. Garrison? Is that Mr. Garrison?
It's Mr. Garrison, yeah.
Yeah.
He has Mr. Hat.
Mr. Hat. Mr. Garrison, bro. Totally like was fucking like somebody else or some shit like that.
Right,
like a hermaphrodite or some shit like that.
It's always like the worst, raunchiest part where they catch you watching it too. I was watching the episode where like Chef's getting ripped apart, by a bunch of animals, and it's like a pedophile episode.
Oh my god.
The Super Adventure Club. And then they're also, there's the, my mom was like, oh, what's that? And then I'm like, I don't know, cartoons. And then
trying to play it off.
It's killed, and then they say, you bastard. And she's like, they curse too. I don't want you watching that. I was like,
oh
shit,
my
it's
god.
ruined.
What about the Simpsons? I feel like the Simpsons got a pass from every parent. No one really said shit about those.
Simpsons all Disney now.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
What about Futurama? That was always on at like late at night.
You can
so
always
I
catch
associated,
Futurama
you know?
and still be kind of safe. It's a little cute and sci-fi.
It's a little
fun.
sci-fi, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like when you're listening to it, it's like, oh, all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the
that's
language
definitely a
for
sex
sure.
joke there. And why is this robot smoking?
Bender. I was gonna say Blender at first.
Yeah, Bender. What a solid fucking name. The writing on that show is amazing.
Damn, dude, we didn't even get into your bartending. I want to touch on that before we get out of here.
All right, let's do it. I mean,
because you've been a bartender for how long now?
maybe like 6 years.
6 years? Holy shit.
I don't know. Let's do some math. I started bartending when I was like,
Were you 21 already? 20? Okay,
yeah, I
so
think I was like,
so yeah, 6 years
already. Yeah.
6 years then. Holy shit. How did you get involved in that, and how have you stayed with that? You know what I mean? Because you've been bartending, like I said, for a couple years now, for almost a decade, which is kind of nuts.
Well, I knew I needed a job out of high school, or like in high school, because I wanted money. We didn't have our own money to do shit, and just like I needed my own income. I needed something, because like I wasn't getting an allowance. I wasn't gonna ask.
Yeah,
I don't
no
want
one
to have
around
to
me
owe
got an
anybody anything.
allowance
I had like
either.
a weird sense of independence. I just didn't want to have to owe anybody anything.
Yeah,
it was weird. I just got really inspired by Empire Records.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Bunch of dysfunctional little shits in an enclosed space, just trying to like make a show run. anyways, I really wanted to work at a record store, so I was like, oh yeah, that's an achievable thing. And so I started walking down 19th Street in the Heights. Back when there's a lot more cool shops in there, and I was like, man, there's a lot of cool things over here. Like I could really, be part, like give some personality, some creativity,
Right.
add to the stuff. And I just went from store to store. And, record store didn't hire me. I don't think I was cool enough, honestly.
You didn't pass their test?
No, I didn't pass the vibe check.
Oh my god.
The antique stores were all like independently owned. They had like their own like vendors and stuff, and like people would rent out the spaces, so it wasn't something I can like work in. Any like small mom and pop shop, and I wanted to work at like a place with people, so I was checking out like small businesses. Like I don't know, I didn't want to work for like. I understood. Like I understood. Maybe I watch Office Space a little too much. And,
oh my god, it's another movie you showed me.
Saw the realities of that work environment, and it's honestly like there's some truth to all the comedy. So like it did kind of deter me some. The Matrix too, they kind of really get this glimpse of like this like clock in clock out bullshit.
Yeah, the mundane like shit, the cycle.
Yeah,
a fucking rat race almost.
So I needed something with a little more jolt of unexpected human interaction, and that got me to Torchy's Tacos, which at the time.
Oh man, Torchy's. I barely had that like last year for the first time ever, and I remember you and Leslie working there forever, and I never had it until like last year, like in June, around this time actually. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, oh my god, I'm going to try this, and I tried, and I was like, oh, it's all right. It's not too bad.
Yeah, I did not like working there.
I remember you like being like, what the fuck? Like, especially towards the end. Towards the end, you were kind of like, you had enough. You were just like, enough of this shit.
I understood. It got really corporate off the bat. Like from when I started, like they were definitely like still coming out of like being a new thing out of Austin, and they still had a lot of that like mentality within like some of the staff, and then. The machine keeps running, and I don't know. Anyways, I ended up like moving up from like every other position there. Then I get to bartend there after I get good with the bartenders, and it's just like a very high volume, high like fast paced place, like with a lot of moving parts. And I got really good at just like multitasking and doing a lot of that. And at the time, I got really close with I think just some people who like lived around the neighborhood, and they started working over at Cultivari in the Heights, and I started bar backing there part-time and then full-time, and literally just having a position of grabbing glassware, wiping it down, I don't know, anticipating needs of a bartender and stocking things and just being aware of a space and keeping it clean and keeping a machine running. After that, I ended up bartending there after they got short-staffed. It's hard working in restaurants, or you want to go do something else at some point.
Right.
Anyways, I ended up bartending, and after about like 2.5 years there, another place that is very high volume and like craft cocktail. That's my introduction to it actually, which is cool in a restaurant setting. Restaurant settings are great because you get to like not have to close down a real bar, which are open till 2, at least in Texas.
What would at the restaurant your last call kind of like be?
Well, most restaurants would be like 10 or 11 o'clock.
Like 10 o'clock, last order for drinks.
Yeah.
You guys need anything?
And it's mainly just because somebody has to clean everything up,
Mm-hmm. You and Brittany actually work together, which is funny.
Oh yeah, we work briefly.
Oh man, that's funny as fuck. I was gonna say, does the time go by fast? Because like you said, it's always moving. It always seems like it's like, depending on I guess the location, like it's always like a fast paced kind of like thing. Like, would you say time goes fast, or would you say do you catch yourself looking at your watch and be like, fuck, like I still have like a long hour?
It really depends.
2 hours of my shift.
It really depends. If it's busier, things can move by a lot faster. If you're definitely engaged in what you're doing, you can just immerse yourself into it and not have to worry about the time before you know it. Like, it's all good. But you definitely want to like get a good. You want to be aware of it. You want to know when to anticipate certain things too. Anticipate a pop. You can anticipate. I don't know when to start cleaning things. So it's just you're keeping shop.
Biggest tip we've ever received as a bartender? that you remember?
$100.
$100?
Yeah.
Damn.
There's probably bigger tips for other people.
I mean, that's a lot. How long would you say like the person was there for them to like get the impression of like $100 man, he deserves $100?
Oh, I think she was just really fucked up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But when you're that persistent with a big bill, and you know, it's hard for me to just be like, no, but like I'm like, are you sure? Like, you're serious? And yeah.
I mean, $100 is $100.
And then I was just like, well, all right, cool. I'm not gonna argue with you.
Plus 100, seeing that in your account, it's a pretty good feeling.
That's a nice little lump.
It's a nice little lump.
Yeah.
What?
Those are rookie numbers. You gotta.
Those are rookie numbers. You gotta pump those numbers up.
Yeah.
Fuck. I was gonna say, what about that? You mentioned like her being like shit faced. How often does that happen? How often do you like deal with motherfuckers that are just like coming in there already drunk?
It's unpredictable. You're really surrendering yourself as like a bartender to what might happen out in the world. Mm-hmm. And it changes from place to place. Like, no bars are always the same. You know, there's different clientele for different bars, and sometimes there's just these curveballs.
How often would you say? Not even how often. I was gonna say you've cut people off. I'd imagine, right? After a certain time, you see them.
Yeah,
just
you
be
can
like,
tell.
Enough.
Yeah.
How do you like? Is it usually like confrontational, or is it just?
It's different. It doesn't have to be. There are better ways of doing it, but it's basically just telling them no.
Being like, hey.
Yeah, and if they're pushing and being persistent against a boundary that you've set, like, then that just proves your point. So it's pretty straightforward, and people just kind of feel bad. They feel guilt tripped, you know. But at the end of the day, that doesn't matter anymore. You know, I think you're going to make your money elsewhere. You want people to come back and you want them to feel comfortable, but you're allowed to tell people no. Like, there's nothing personal about it at all.
You're just refusing their business.
It's just like, hey, you've had enough, and I won't be serving you any more alcohol.
And I imagine they're always like, yo,
yeah,
I know my limit.
Yeah. Or something, you know what I
mean? Shit like that.
Sometimes you get all kinds of different rebuttals, and sometimes you don't get any at all. And sometimes it's the smoothest interaction that you've ever had, and they want to sit there and drink their water, and they're like, all right, cool, thank you.
Nice.
You know, and it's nice, but you have to be able to communicate that, and, you know, not just be the person running the bar.
Nice.
Because you have to be.
Right.
You're controlling all of these substances, like, and in a way.
Yeah, I mean, these are kind of like.
Well, I'd call alcohol like a drug, you know.
Yeah. Alcohol is definitely like I'd equate it to like a drug for sure.
I mean, we had the entire prohibition because of it. It was crazy. It's considered a drug. So
that whole time period is insane to me. It's like really fascinating to me, honestly. Like the fact that they banned that shit, and then like the rise of like all the mobsters. Oh my god.
So it's like we're this weird legalized glorified drug dealer. You know, and we have just the thing for you. They're like, hey, what can you make me? I'm like, well, what mood are you in? You know, we can like,
right.
I mean, like, what are your symptoms? You know, and then I'll make you your medicine.
Your little cocktail.
Yeah.
Of cocktails.
Your elixir.
Yeah, your elixir.
Yeah, which is actually really interesting medicine. About like how like some booze came to be medicinal.
Yeah, there were a lot of them were used for like anesthesia. No, get someone fucked up, you ain't got tooth out, shit like that.
Probably do that, but I like even before that to like maybe settle your stomach. You know, like Italy has a big history of just having like a whole section of aperitif and digestifs. So yeah, there's just different reasons.
Yeah. Give me a little history on alcohol, man.
Just a little toe tip.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, man, we've been coming on for recording for about an hour and 5 minutes.
Okay.
I said it's a pretty good spot to end it. We don't have to like get into too much more. Also, just because like I want to have you on, like I said, for that Donnie Darko thing, I'd want to do like a separate video aside from the podcast, and have you just like help me out with like a breakdown of that movie. Because like I said, I had showed Fern and Brittany. All right, before we leave, though, director's cut or original film release, theatrical release.
I just like the music on the original one.
That's what I'm saying.
Like there's something about it that just like is already cemented in my head. It's like that's Donnie Darko.
You submitted that in my head, bro. The opening song and the fucking Echo and the Bunnyman.
It's so iconic. There's
oh my god, bro.
it's so well done. And the director's cut, it's like, oh, that was helpful to know as information, but like I wouldn't have done it that way. Like I don't know. I wish there was some kind of weird smash up combination of the two.
I wonder if there is, bro. Like,
you know, there's like 1,000 versions of Blade Runner like being re-released.
yeah. I just seen 2049 like earlier this year, and I just loved it.
I still haven't seen it. I think I'll watch that soon.
Dude, I love it, but like I watched it around the same time as Moon Knight, which is like a Marvel show, and I felt like I really like Moon Knight and I really like Blade Runner 2049, but those characters are like insane. They're such off the wall, and I was just like, man, I relate to these guys. Like, oh. And I was like, these are not too good, like, two characters to, like, fucking relate to, you know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of like, what? Yeah. Like,
hey, what's the character you've, like, most related to in, like, a...
In, like, fiction?
Yeah. A movie or something.
I don't know.
Isn't that, I feel like that's always been really difficult for me, at least. Like, I think maybe somebody can, like, see themselves and...
Yeah, I just really relate to, like, their emotions, I'd say, you know?
That's fair. It's hard to, like, get the whole thing. Like, oh, I am that character. And it's maybe we should just think of ourselves as individuals.
I really enjoy... I don't know if you've ever seen Silver Linings Playbook with...
You actually got me that DVD.
Oh, my God, I did, yeah.
As a gift, yeah.
Dude... Bradley Cooper's character in that movie is
part of a relationship is just like Christmas gifts and being DVDs. I'm like, hey,
oh my God,
we wouldn't know that we're getting into other movies. And just like, that's just the thing we do. Like, here, I got.
That is the thing we've like done for a long time.
I got you this box. Dude. That's what I got you.
Oh man, we'd always give each other movies, like you said. And yeah, I did give you that one. But yeah, Bradley Cooper's character in that movie, but he's like bipolar, like medically diagnosed bipolar in that movie. So I wouldn't relate to him on there, but I would just would relate to him and being like a guy that's trying to like get on his feet, trying to like create like some positive, trying to look at the positive, the silver lining, no pun intended, of like the situation he's in. I'd say maybe him, but I don't know, bro. I was gonna get into my favorite movies earlier, which I could list off before we head out. It's a lot of Scorsese, to be honest with you.
For sure,
I'm a huge Scorsese fan, dude. Obviously. Yeah, I got the Goodfellas poster in the back. R.I.P. Ray Liotta. And like
they're just epics. It's just like let me tell you the tale of
so
this
good,
thing, you know, like literally a Bronx tale. You know what I mean? Like,
oh my God, a Bronx tale. Yeah, that was actually directed by De Niro. Isn't that crazy? De Niro directed that.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's perfect. Good for him.
Right? Sorry. What a bro. That kid I
lumped this like category of like these like.
Oh yeah, I'm sure Scorsese had like some help. You know what I mean? Just because they all work together. You know what I mean?
Like best friends.
But if I had to list my top 5 in no particular order, bro. Fight Club for sure. Huge fan of Fight Club. Definitely like a movie that I like to show people just because I'm like, man, this movie's like so original and so creative and shit like that. Another one would be Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which I mentioned earlier before we were like off air. Another just creative as fuck movie. Goodfellas, The Departed. And for the last one, bro, I used to say Catch Me If You Can, but honestly, I might put like Avengers Endgame on there, bro. Just because like I
don't blame you. I get
that movie like totally blew me away. I did not. It was such a peak.
They got everybody.
They got everyone, bro. They totally got me, and I was cheering like a fucking kid. I had tears running down my face.
You know, that's how I felt for that Spider-Man movie.
No Way Home. Is it No Way Home?
I think so. No Way Home. Yeah, they got me. I was like, man, I'm pretty biased against the whole Marvel movie,
MCU, and
the whole universe of everything. I just feel like they're all cranked out really quickly. Anyways, they got me. So I totally get that. So yeah, it's a big epic thing that just like it really hones it in.
I'm telling you, man, my experience was insane. Like just seeing it right after, I think it was off, but like seeing it like the day it came out with like a fucking rabid crowd that was just like going off. Also the wait from like Infinity War. Infinity War was such like a good indie or like a good like to be continued fucking part, you know?
Yeah.
And then like the year wait, and then like not seeing any spoilers at all for anything and not getting spoiled at all.
Yeah.
And like rushing to the theater to see it. It was just like a good fucking time and like a good like experience overall, you know? And even when I think about it now, I'm just like, damn, like I've watched that fucking like last battle scene on my phone so many times with like crowd reactions, you know? I'm just like, man, what a way to like, honestly, if they ended it there, I wouldn't be surprised. I would be like, you guys have like hit every peak And like, I don't know if you're gonna achieve it anymore.
They're not gonna end it. They're just gonna keep going.
They're gonna keep going.
They're gonna dig into every little corner and crevice of every character that exists that's already written down, and then they're gonna make any spin-off they can possibly get, and then they're gonna sell all the merch from every little character.
Ugh. But yeah, I think Endgame would be my last one, bro. My top 5, to be honest with you. It's just like a really good movie, man. Like in terms of modern movies, I don't know, it's really good. Something about it, I just really enjoy it. But yeah, that would be my top 5.
Awesome. Well, this Ghost in the Machine has been very tasty from Parish Brewing, and delicious. Wettened our whistles. But it's taken an effect.
You think so?
I just have to pee.
We'll go ahead and end it here. Well, guys, if you made it to this point, I just want to say thank you for listening to the episode. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. You could follow Adrian at...
Is Adrian available?
Do you only have Instagram, bro, or do you have a Twitter as well?
No, just Instagram.
I think that fits you, though. IG for sure. I feel like Twitter's like too negative sometimes.
If you want to look at me dumping, and I'm just like shit posting on stories and
I like it though.
Looking at pictures of ducks all the time. Like that's basically all I do. You'll see some horror shout outs and some bar shout outs. Me and my friends doing shenanigans, but I rarely post. I'm pretty chill. I don't really like social media too much, but I love the internet.
It's a interesting dichotomy there.
Yeah. Anyways, I mean, you can check it out.
I
am but a humble human being with opinions, unfortunately.
Go ahead, give me a follow. Give me a follow at CPUSNXD on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. And that about does it for this week. I've been Caesar. This has been
Adrian.
Till next time, guys. Peace.
Blah.
Boom. Another episode in the can.
Dude, that was nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got a little giddy there.
Oh, you're good.
Hopefully it works.